We're at a remodeling project in Johnston with Dave Helland of Helland Construction. And Dave, you've completely gutted the kitchen, gutted the entryway, and added on an addition. Tell me exactly what you've done here.
Well, for starters, we gutted the kitchen, and we took out the whole back wall of the house, and that's what holds up the second story too. We added on so we can expand the kitchen, have a bigger dining room. We solve a lot of other problems in the house as well. So when we started this project, the entryway was very tight. The corner of the wall was actually out to here, creating a real narrow hallway to get from the front door to the kitchen. And there was a coat closet here, a little sitting room in front that rarely got used, and a half bathroom. So what we've done, we've moved the half bath, we've made a nice wide hallway, created an office instead of a sitting room so they can actually use the space regularly. Now, these are not permanent walls that are here, these are temporary walls. They're holding up the second floor system right now. There used to be a drop beam that kind of lowered the ceiling as you came into the kitchen. So we've taken that beam out, sliced out the joist from the second story, and are sliding a beam up in there to gain the ceiling height.
So Dave, what are you planning for this space?
Well, this was the old dining room, and it wasn't big enough, so in our addition we made space for a new properly sized dining room. In its place, we've got a pantry, a little hallway where we're going to have a little phone nook and everything, and the half bath that we moved from where it used to be by the front door.
This space in front of us is actually the addition, which you created to give the homeowners more space and make room for this oversized island.
That's right. This framed wall represents the configuration of the island, and there'll be a lower countertop and an upper countertop. It's very big, lots of room in the kitchen, great big dining room, and a real neat deck that we're going to build. So there's a lot of cool features here. Now, to accomplish this, we had to take out the entire back wall of the kitchen, which is, of course, load-bearing. So what we do is we add what's called a girder truss. We take out the wall, and we have these 3 plies of a girder truss that essentially functions as a beam. And then the second floor joists get attached with joist hangers onto that beam, enables us to deliver the load from the second floor and the roof to the ends of that beam so we can get rid of the whole wall. Well, our next structural challenge is we're looking to figure out a way to remove the wall between the kitchen and the living room. It's going to require a steel beam. We've got an engineer working on it right now. But no matter how much planning you go through during every remodeling project, you always see opportunities to make things better. So we've got a lot of things in progress right now. We've got plumber, electrician, heating and cooling, and final carpentry. We're getting ready for drywall.
Dave, tell me what you're doing here.
Well, we're re-siding this home, and we're using cement board siding. But regardless of what product you use, the most important thing to remember is that water gets through siding of all kinds, whether it's brick, vinyl, hardy plank, any other type of siding. Water vapor penetrates it. So the most important thing is to make sure that when water does get through it, that there's a drainage plane to take it down to the ground and out without infiltrating your wall cavities. First line of defense on the drainage plane is the Tyvek house wrap. This water droplets run on the surface, but water vapor that is in your wall cavity can escape. It's kind of like a Gore-Tex. And the joints are sealed with tape just to maintain the continuity of the drainage also. But also behind this trim and over the window flanges, we've got a self-adhesive waterproofing membrane that is lapped properly from top to bottom for the same concept. Any water that gets through there just runs right on through to the ground and doesn't cause you any trouble. So you see these same materials installed on houses everywhere, but it really comes down to very small workmanship elements that actually make things work. And I'm going to show you 2 areas that get done wrong all the time, and it's literally a 10-cent piece of material and a few minutes of care that keep the water out of your house.
Great, well let's head up to the roof.
So as part of a re-siding project, we always find lots of areas where the house has leaked in the past. Most of this stuff leaks from the day it was built. Areas where a roof meets a wall of a house are almost always done wrong. So the concept is having everything lapped properly so the water running down a surface ends up on the outside of your house, not into the wood framing. So what we've got is metal flashing, and that has to be, as it comes down the roof, that has to then make it out on top of a piece of siding, and that's where people always do it wrong. And then behind that piece of siding, we've got another piece of metal flashing that comes on top of the piece below it. So there's no way water can infiltrate the structure as it runs down the surfaces. This area of the house where the garage roof meets the lower roof has leaked since day one. The owner has been fighting it for years. And all it is, there's a piece of roof flashing right in here, and they didn't seal this corner. So you got your house wrap that'll come down here, your roof flashing here, the fascia board stops here, but you've got an unprotected area here where in driving rain, water can infiltrate. So what we're gonna do is use this self-adhesive waterproofing membrane, and we're gonna get in here behind this flashing, under the house wrap, behind this fascia board, wrap the corners, seal it up tight so it can't leak no matter how hard it rains.
Dave, you completely revamped this space by making it more functional and just updating the entire area.
That's right. This house is 25 years old. It had a lot of problems just from age. We re-sided the house, we changed some windows, we added on, we got a new kitchen, we did a lot of things.
We were at this project once before, and I remember one of the main things that the homeowners wanted was to expand this entryway because before it was very narrow and cramped.
Before, when you came in the front door, the door swung over into a narrow hallway. It was hard to get people in and out. There was a coat closet and a half bath in the area too that really weren't in just the right spot. So what we did is we reconfigured all the existing space. We got rid of the formal dining room that rarely got used and really wasn't big enough anyway. And we put a pantry and a half bath in that space. We've got a lot bigger entryway with a wide open ceiling, so you got a great view into the kitchen when you walk into the house.
Many houses in the past were built with formal dining rooms, and we realize now that not many people actually use those dining rooms anymore. So what you've done here is you've actually expanded the space and put in an eat-in kitchen, which you're finding the family actually uses a lot more.
That's right. We got rid of the formal dining room and we're now standing in the addition that is the dining part of our eat-in kitchen. So we expanded the kitchen space and we have a lot larger dining space, and everything is together and it just works so much better. Most houses that are over 20 years old have problems. This house was no exception. There were roof leaks, the siding was badly deteriorated, there were old windows, lots of things that we'd like to fix when we do a large remodel. So what we did is we took all the siding off the house, changed some windows, wrapped the whole house with Tyvek house wrap, and that makes it a tighter envelope, which makes it more energy efficient. We've got hardy plank siding on the whole house, the leaks are fixed, it's repainted, it looks like a brand new house. When I work with a homeowner to plan a remodel, it's all about figuring out what those owners need to make the house the way they want it so they can stay there for the long term. And fixing problems on the rest of the house is a bonus as well.
So if you want to remodel any of the spaces in your home to fit your family's needs, make sure to contact Dave Helland of Helland Construction. And Dave, how can they contact you?
They can go to my website at hellandconstruction.com, and I've got videos and photos and lots of things to look at.
Well, thanks for talking to us today, Dave Helland of Helland Construction.